Hey everyone, happy National Scrapbooking Day once again. This is my third video for National Scrapbooking Day and my favorite things video number 3. And once again, shout out to Hannah Lemieux for organizing the National Scrapbooking Day video hop for Nicole Jones 911 Facebook group. So what I'm working on here is another 12 by 12 layout, and I'm actually going to do a scrapbook video chat today. So I'm going to be chatting about a book that I read, and I'm going to be scrapbooking about a book that I read. You can see, or you can take a look at on my YouTube channel, on my playlists, and I have my scrapbook chats on a playlist there that you can, if you're interested in watching more of those, you can check those out. So the book that I read is called A Spool of Blue Thread by Anne Tyler, and you'll see the cover of the book and some more information about that on the layout once I pop it up. So what I'm working on right here is I'm just doing some watercoloring with that I think it's We Are Memory Keepers Love Notes paper that we got in a hip kit a while back. And I saw lots of people doing watercoloring on that paper, and I just never had a chance to use it. And so I thought that I might try to incorporate some of that. So what I did was I just got my cheap old Michaels watercolors out and a little paintbrush and just did a little bit of really simple watercoloring on there. And then I cut some of those windows out to put on the layout. I don't know if they really fit, but I did it anyway. So I don't know, add something a little bit of interesting for detail there. So I just adhered some white cardstock, some American Crafts textured white cardstock to some black American Craft textured cardstock. And I'm just using that because I really like how the black makes the white pop, and it just kind of adds a really nice frame to the layout. So I'm going to be working with this Crafters Workshop stencil, and I'm going to use some golden light modeling paste, I think it's called, from Michaels. And it works pretty good. I don't like it as well as the Ranger texture paste, but it is a lot cheaper. I think that little tub goes a lot farther than the little tub of Ranger texture paste. So I'm just going to use that modeling paste on that really bright blue cardstock, and that's a Stampin' Up! Cardstock. I don't have any clue what color it is. It might be brilliant blue, but I'm not exactly sure. And so I'm just going to lay down some of that modeling paste with my palette knife. What's that thing again? Oh yeah, that's it. It's a palette knife. And I'm hoping that I'm going to be coherent through this video because I've been scrapbooking all day today. And I don't know, I kind of think maybe I should take a break. Anyhow, so I just really like how that script looks on that bright blue paper. I think it just really pops off of there. So I'm just taking my stencil and I'm cleaning it. And if you've never worked with texture paste or modeling paste before, it's really important that you clean up your tools right away because it will harden on there and it leaves a film on anything that it hardens on. You can get the most of it off, but it will leave a film that's very difficult to remove. So I'm just washing that up right now, and then I'll come back and I'm going to dry that modeling paste with my Tim Holtz or my Ranger heat tool. And yeah, I think I'll probably take a few minutes to clean that mat, my craft mat, off as well. And then when I've got that done, then I'm going to start to assemble the layout. So I did get my parts, all the pieces that I wanted to use on this layout, together ahead of time because I am the slowest scrapbooker in the world. I'm pretty sure if there was a Guinness World Book of Records slowest scrapbookers award, I would get it. So I tend to try to do as much off camera as I possibly can so that my videos aren't too long, because I know when I'm watching YouTube videos, I don't want to watch them forever. So I don't want the video to be too long. So I try to aim for my videos to be around 15 minutes or so. So what I'm doing now is I'm just creating some layers, and I'm pretty sure those are all We Are Memory Keepers. Maybe not. Maybe they're actually Webster's Pages papers. But I will. I'll leave a link for my blog, and you can go there and check out what ingredients I use for this layout. So you can see I'm just creating some layers using some different papers, and so what you see on top there is just an image that I printed of Anne Tyler, and that's her book cover. And I'm going to talk in a minute about the book and how much I love the book, and just in case you decide that it's something you might like to read. So I just took a little bit of embroidery thread, embroidery floss, and I just dyed it with some Stampin' Up! Ballet Blue ink. And all of these little embellishments that you see me putting on here, I'm pretty sure are from Maggie Holmes', I think, open book. And then that strip of patterned paper that has the storyteller on it underneath the book jacket cover is also from Maggie Holmes' open book, which I love that stuff. And I think one of the things I'm going to soon do is I'm going to do a layout just with that line, because I love it, and I haven't really used it a whole lot, but I have a bunch of it. So this book is typical Anne Tyler. If you've ever read any of her work, you know what I'm talking about. She is an award-winning writer. She's amazing. If you want to know more about her, just Google her, and you can learn all kinds of stuff about her books, the titles of her books, the awards that she's won for books, and so on. And she's just, sorry for the background noise here, guys. She's just really an incredible author. And what makes her such an incredible author is how her stories are just so realistic and so true to life. Like, she could be talking about people that you know. And so what this story is about is it's about the Whitshank family. And really what it is, and I do, the title of that I use for this layout is just simply Journey, because what this story is really is the journey of a family. And she could have used any name for the family. It could have been Clark. It could have been any family, your family, my family, anyone's, because what she talks about and what she tells about in this story is all things that we could have experienced, you know, like the rich, you know, sort of like character development she just richly describes who these people are by slowly taking us on a progressive journey and letting it sort of all unfold for us to find out who these people are and what they're like. And really, for me as a reader, that's what I love the most when I read a book, is when an author takes the time to do that. And I don't care if it means that I'm going to have to read a book for, you know, 500, 600 pages. If it means that that story is woven so intricately that you get all of that rich detail and you feel like you're reading the story of someone that you might actually know, right? And so we learn about Red and Abby Whitshank and their parents, and then them, and then their children, and their children's children. And it's just a really detailed, beautiful story of what happens to them throughout their life. I loved it. I really, really liked it. So on the layout, I'm adding those little watercolored windows in there from that We Are Memory Keepers Love Notes paper that I was watercoloring. And I suppose how that could be applied to the story is that, you know, I guess the whole idea of when, you know, windows are openings, and there's lots of different parts of the story that lend themselves to thinking about that, and how in life we have so many opportunities, so many openings for things to happen, people that we meet, all kinds of things. So I think it's just really neat how she tells us about this family. It's quite the story. She uses a lot of humor throughout the story, and how she develops these characters and the detail that she uses. And I don't know, I just love it. Love, love, love it. So I'll just read you the journaling that's on here quick. It says, this novel takes us on a journey that follows the path of the Whitshank family. We learn about Abby and Red, their parents, how they met, and their children. The story jumps around a bit, but slowly, allowing us to see the evolution of the family, the natural progression and journey that family takes from youth to old age and ultimately death. Hopefully that's not too much of a spoiler alert. I didn't say who dies. We learn about Abby and Red's children and their quirks, plus how they deal with the aging of their parents. The humor woven through the novel is very effective. Anne Tyler captures the characters beautifully as she takes her time to paint a careful family portrait. So yeah, that basically describes what it's about. So on the layout, I'm just adding those different little die cuts. And I am crazy about die cuts. So if we were to talk about favorite things here, Die cuts, still my favorite. From the first favorite things video to this one, I still haven't forgotten about die cuts. And definitely the color blue. Love the color blue. Love Maggie Holmes and all things Maggie Holmes. So awesome. Create those little crepe paper ephemera packs are wonderful. I love to read, and that's the whole purpose of this book chat series that I have on my YouTube channel, where I can share books that I've read. And I hope that people can, you know, get some ideas about books that they might like to read or what you don't want to read. I mean, maybe this just isn't your thing. And also, if you could leave me comments about books that you've read, or if you're interested in creating videos yourself about books that you've read that I can watch, so that I can get some ideas about books that I'd like to read. I just want to say that the one series that I did, the only other book chat series that I did was on Anthony Doerr's All the Light We Cannot See. And if you didn't know, on April 20th, it was announced that his novel won a Pulitzer. So I knew it was a good book. I didn't realize it was going to be a Pulitzer contender, but it was, and it won. So I'm not surprised, because that was a fantastic book. So super excited about that. So I just took that little bunch of embroidery floss that I had dyed using that ballet blue Stampin' Up! Ink, and I just clumped it up and I just put it in the corner on that frame. So I was kind of trying to work in wood grains here too, because the spool of thread has a wood grain element to it in the picture. And then I did that little wood grain frame, and also then I had, sorry, there was something that popped up on my screen here that I had to read. And then there's the wood grain behind the picture in that Webster's Pages paper, and then along that strip underneath the blue paper. So I'm almost done with this layout. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you will consider reading this book by Ann Tyler. It's absolutely amazing. And I also hope that you've had a chance today to do some scrapbooking and do something fun today, not just work. Saturdays are supposed to be a little bit for fun. And if it was scrapping related, well, even better on National Scrapbooking Day. So I don't know if I'm going to get any more done today, but if I don't, I'll see you next time, and have an amazing day. Bye.